Hey guys, I'm Phil Town from Rule 1 Investing, and today I wanted to put together a special video for active military service members. So I want to congratulate all of you who are in active military service or who have done active military service. It's an incredible thing you've done for our country, and we appreciate it. We can't thank you enough. I hope we take better care of everybody than we've done in the past. I spent a little bit of time in the military, about 3.5 years. I did a tour in Latin America with 8th Special Forces Group, and then a tour in Vietnam where I was a platoon leader. And when I came back, I'll tell you, man, it can leave a hole in your head when you're out there doing things that are really intense and really important every day, and everything you do matters. And you come back into a world where pretty much nothing that you do matters. And it's a really, really deep change in the way you have to think about the world. So if you're kind of in that space where you're trying to figure out, how am I going to make a transition from the military? How am I going to take care of my family, whatever happens? How am I going to do, kind of like the financial side of my life? I'm telling you, it took me a long time to get that figured out. And if I hadn't gotten lucky enough to meet the right kind of mentor when I was a guide down in the Grand Canyon, I'd be a broke ex-military guy. So if you're serving in the military or you're just retiring from military service, I think there are a number of investment options and strategies that you will want to explore. We took our team up to Fort Campbell, Kentucky at the urging of several people at 5th Special Forces Group, and we did a full 3 or 4 day program, and we were really, really excited to offer that program to anybody who's in the military, who has been in active military. Love to have you come and learn how to invest. We will teach you for free anytime you need to take the course. So like any other career, looking at what to do with investments starts with saving and having some capital that you can begin with, but it certainly doesn't end there. It's just the essential part of saving is that the more you can save, the less pressure you're going to have to make big returns out of small money, the less work you're going to have to do. And the sooner you get started, the better off you're going to be. So here's what I would recommend you guys. First, setting up a Roth IRA is really, really a great way to get going. You start with solid financial footing. You're going to be developing a portfolio that you pay taxes on before the money goes into the IRA. And then from that point on, you'll never pay taxes on the gains that you make, or if you need to take the money out, on the money you take away. So this is a really good idea for military personnel who are receiving tax-free combat zone pay, because all the contributions that you make into the Roth are all tax-free, which nobody else gets to do, which is awesome. And then once it's in the Roth, then withdrawals from the IRA are also tax and penalty free, as long as you're just withdrawing the original capital you put in. Now, when you retire, you get to withdraw the rest of the capital, and it is also tax free. So as long as the laws stay set up this way, then setting up a Roth IRA is a great way for your current military to start saving for retirement. Best of all, setting up a Roth IRA will offer you the freedom to invest in a vast array of securities if you set it up as a self-directed Roth IRA. Now, where would you do that? Just get a hold of any good brokerage company. That could be Schwab, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, which I guess is now owned by somebody else, Scottrade, which is probably owned by somebody else, Interactive Brokers. All you do is go online, get their phone number, call them up, say, look, I'm military, I want to set up a Roth IRA, I want it self-directed so I can invest in anything, tell me what to do. And they will be happy to do that. Next thing, and this is really, really aimed at every military member, is we have a tendency to get into debt. And the reason we do in the military is because people know you got a paycheck and they are happy to lend you money. I remember outside of Fort Benning, they had all these used car dealers, man, because those kids come out of OCS and they are gonna go buy a car because now they got steady income of, $370 a month. This is back in 1969. Military service members are making a lot more money right now, which is thank God. So military service members have programs designed to help them eliminate debt, which is great. Seeing as how the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority has found out that all of us military people, on average, incur more debt than civilians. Again, because it's so easy to get the money. If you have debt and you are working hard to eliminate it, I want you to start off by checking out the Service Members Civil Relief Act. This act actually places a cap on the interest rates for loans that you took out prior to active service in the military. And by using the benefits offered in the act, you can quicken the rate at which you can get rid of debt, which is awesome. And this is one of the first and foremost important steps for you in investing. Get out of that big high compound interest rate that's working against you instead of for you. Third, be sure you choose your residence wisely. Active members in the military, you're allowed to maintain residence in whatever state you choose, regardless of when you're transferred or stationed or whatever. With this being the case, choose your residency carefully, you guys. For example, if you're originally from a tax-free state like Texas and you're now stationed in a state where you're required to pay state income tax, hey, keep your legal residence in Texas, guys. Come on. The less money you have to pay in taxes, the more money you'll have available to invest. And if you see that you're paying tax money into a state where they have tax, then just get back to your Texas original residency and save the difference. Save that money you were paying out in state tax and put that into a retirement account. Fourth, don't rely too heavily on the Thrift savings plan. One of the most popular investing options available to the military is the TSP, Thrift Savings Plan, and for a good reason. The plan offers military members a lot of benefits, such as an incredibly low expense ratio. Investors are paying just 28 cents for every $1,000 invested, as well as a matching contribution from the government. But there's a drawback. The TSP forces you to invest in one of 5 index funds. So this blanket approach to investing is not nearly effective, in my opinion, as a more tailored approach where you're able to pick and choose the companies you want to invest in. After you learn to be a Rule 1 investor, you're going to want to have a choice. So I don't think it's a great idea to rely too heavily on the TSP as part of your retirement savings plan. Let me add one more thing, why not? Because when you're invested in index funds, they go up solely because people are putting more money in. In other words, the rise in the market as it becomes more and more full of index plans has nothing to do with the success of the companies in the stock market and everything to do with simply the fact that everyone is putting money into indexes. If you put money in the index managers have to go buy all the stocks in the index, which is maybe 500 stocks for the S&P, 100 for NASDAQ, 30 for Dow, and whatever they buy goes up. Well, think about this for a second. If those stocks start coming down, if those indexes start coming down because they inevitably get to a bubble and start to be worth ridiculously less than what people are paying for them, that bubble pops. Think about what happens when you take the money out of those stocks by taking it out of your index fund. The index fund has to sell all of those stocks, and it can create an incredible amount of fear that can't be stopped, because every time you sell off those indexes, they have to sell off all the stocks, which makes the indexes worse, which means people have to sell off the indexes, which means they have to sell off the stocks. So I'm very, very concerned that the indexes are an incredible scheme that's going to result ultimately in an incredible market crash. Now, I would much prefer that you learn to be a great Rule 1 investor like a Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger, which you are totally capable of, and learn to be able to take advantage of that next market crash instead of being a victim. So just make sure you're going to employ the best investment strategies for your family that you can possibly do. As a military member, it's crucial that you take advantage of all the options that are available to you to save while you serve. By following, and I'm telling you, you guys have such an advantage over what, and I'm saying guys, I mean gender, okay? No gender there, it's all guys, girls, whatever. By following the investment advice outlined above, as well as the investment strategies that apply to a person, regardless of their career, you can start building wealth and saving for retirement in the most effective way possible. And I gotta say, what I was gonna say a second ago was that when I was in the military, I was a young lieutenant serving in a combat zone with jump pay, and I was making $432 a month. I know you're laughing right now, but that's the way it was back then. You guys are actually making some money. And if you just don't spend more than you bring in and start saving in your IRA, you could be in really good shape to retire. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you served in the military? How did you start investing? Leave a comment below with your answer and I'll be sure to follow up with you. I love you all. Appreciate you so much. Thanks for your service. So thanks for watching. Now go play. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you feel it was valuable in teaching you more about investing, particularly investing when you're in the military. Subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends or anybody who might benefit from this information, particularly some civilian.